today's session, we would be discussing how to go about preparing cost sheet. As a part of today's session, we will be discussing how we can go about preparing the cost sheet. Previous sessions, we had discussed the format of cost sheet. We saw the divisions of cost in a cost sheet. We've also discussed how we can go about differentiating the items with respect to the cost sheet. And today's session, we will be starting off with how we can go about the preparation of the cost sheet. Okay? So in today's session, we will be discussing how we can go about with the preparation of the cost sheet. Now, before I work out the cost sheet for you, we will look through the question and then we will quickly identify which portion of your cost sheet format will those respective items fall under. Okay, we will quickly look at the question. We will do a discussion about how where exactly in your cost sheet will each of these expenses fall under. Then on the board, I would be working out the numerical for you. So the question that we had discussed yesterday, we were asked to prepare a cost sheet based on some information. They've given us the items. They've also told us that the number of bulbs which are manufactured in a month is 1,000 units. The company is anticipating a profit margin of 20%. Now this 1,000 unit is very important for us because remember your cost sheet indicates your total cost as well as your cost per unit. Your cost sheet indicates your total cost as well as your cost per unit. Now, cost per unit is not a mandatory parameter. It is not a mandatory field. Just in case, if the number of units are known to you, you can go about calculating cost per unit. Okay? Just in case, if the number of units are known to you, you can go about calculating cost per unit. Because if you have to calculate cost per unit, you have to divide the total cost by number of units. If you have to calculate cost per unit, you have to divide the total cost by number of units. Also in this question, what they have told us is that the company is anticipating a profit margin of 20%. Okay? The company is anticipating a profit margin of 20%. Okay? So we will also have to factor for this 20% profit margin. Now let's look at the items. Okay? Let us look at the items. We have direct material consumed. Now, direct material would be a part of which division of cost? It will be a part of your prime cost. Okay? It will be a part of your prime cost. Direct labor, that will also be a prime cost. Indirect labor, in this case, in bracket, they have mentioned in factory. Okay? So we are quite sure, or it is very evident which level is this falling under. So this will be a part of your factory overhead. Supervision cost, this will be a part of your factory overhead. Factory rent, this will be a part of your factory overhead again. This will be a part of your indirect expense. Factory lighting, again, factory overhead. Factory maintenance consumables. Okay, so this is a part of your indirect material consumed as a part of your factory overhead. Okay? This will be a part of your indirect material that is consumed as a part of your factory overhead. Then you have depreciation of machine. Now remember, it is not highlighted which machine it is. Is it a machine with respect to your factory or is it a machine with respect to your office? So since it is not stated, we would take it for granted that what is mentioned over here, we are talking about a factory machine. Okay, a factory machine. So this will be a part of your factory overhead. Office overhead, clear cut, it is understood. It is a part of your factory overhead. Office salary, factory overhead. This will be a part of your administration overhead. Miscellaneous office expenses, this will again be a part of your administration overhead. Selling and distribution overhead, very clear. From the item itself, it is known to us. This is a part of your selling and distribution overhead. So with that note, we will start off with the numericals. Now, since I will be working out the numericals for you, I will be stepping away from this particular laptop because I will have to use the blackboard. So I will be stepping away from this particular laptop, and then I would be working it out on a different board here for you. So let me just toggle between the camera and bring that up over here. Okay, so just in case if you are facing any kind of issue, I may not be able to see you directly. You can put in your comments, and then Madhusudan sir will be helping you out. Okay? Madhusudan sir will be helping you out. So if you're having any issues with respect to maybe visibility or audio, please make sure that you redirect your responses, chats to Madhusudan sir, because since I'm away from the screen, I'm not able to see what is happening exactly over there. Now let's come back. Let's look at the format of the cost sheet. Okay, now we are starting off with cost sheet preparation. Okay, we are starting off with cost sheet preparation, and this is for our first question. Okay, this is for our first question. Now remember, there are three important columns when it comes to the format of your cost sheet. You have particulars, then you have total cost, and then you have cost per unit.
Suku sir?
Yes, sir?
Sir, the video is very small, sir.
Okay. Is it better now, sir?
Yes, sir. Words a little less.
Okay, maybe I'll just try writing it a little bigger then. So there are three important columns when it comes to preparation of cost sheet. You have particulars, then you have the total cost, and then you have cost per unit. Okay, you have cost per unit. Okay, Madhu sir, can you give me a feedback about visibility? Is it better now?
It's now better, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So when we start off with cost sheet preparation, what you have to remember is the first division that comes under your cost sheet is your prime cost. Okay? The first division that comes as a part of your cost sheet preparation is your prime cost. Now, prime cost comprises of three direct elements of cost. Okay? Prime cost comprises of three direct elements of cost. Now, they are direct material, direct labor, and then direct expenses. So let's look at this particular question. Here they have given us that direct material. Okay, they have given us that direct material. This is 20,000. 20,000. If they have told us that direct material is 20,000. Now we have to calculate for cost per unit. Okay, we have to calculate for cost per unit. Now, for us in this particular question, we know that the total cost given to us is for 1,000 units. Okay, it is for 1,000 units of bulk. So the unit is known to us. This is for 1,000. This is for 1,000 units. Okay, so it will be easy for us to calculate cost per unit. It will be easy for us to calculate for cost per unit. So cost per unit will be 20,000 divided by 1,000, which makes it 20. Okay, so 20,000 divided by 1,000, it will be 20.
Sir?
Yes, sir?
It is a little blur, sir, and the video is checking, sir.
Okay, sir.
It is not a continuous. It is not coming continuously. It is okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is good. Sir, previous one is better, sir. This is okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, so direct material, we know it is 20,000. and 20,000 is the total cost. We know it's for 1,000 units, and then if we divide it by 1,000 units, we get 20. Okay? We get 20. Now, next that prime cost that we have to consider is your direct labor. Okay? So the next prime cost that we have to consider is your direct labor.
While writing,
Yes, sir.
slightly you will just move little forward, sir. Writing. The
Okay,
direct it is not visible. Material it is okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So direct labor, we know direct labor is 8,000. Now 8,000 is your total direct labor. Okay, 8,000 is your total direct labor. So 8,000 divided by 1,000 units. This divided by 1,000 units, we know cost per unit is 8. Okay, we know cost per unit is 8. Okay, so we've considered direct material, direct labor. Now the next element of your prime cost is your direct expenses. But in this particular question, we do not have any direct expenses given to us. In this particular question, we do not have any direct expenses given to us. So, which means we can quickly sum up this, and we know this division is your prime cost. Okay, this division is your prime cost. Okay. Now, for representation, it is always good for us to highlight the divisions of cost. Okay. For representation, for the person who's looking at a cost sheet, for them to understand a cost sheet easily, it is always good for us to highlight the divisions of cost. So now this totals up to 28,000 and cost per unit is 28 rupees. Okay, so now we have done with the first division of cost. Okay, now we have done with the first division of cost. Now we are moving on with the next division. The next division is your factory overhead. Okay, the next division is your factory overhead. Now let's look at what are the factory overheads that we have. Okay, let's look at what are the factory overheads that we have. We have an indirect factory overhead. Okay, so in this particular question, we've been told that there is an indirect labor. Okay, we have an indirect labor, and it is also mentioned that it belongs to a factory. So let us write that. Indirect labor. This is 2,500. So 2,500 is a total cost. So cost per unit will be 2.5. Cost per unit will be 2.5. Then we have supervision overhead. We have supervision overhead. Okay. Supervision overhead is 1,000. Okay. Supervision overhead is 1,000 and cost per unit will be 1. Okay. Cost per unit will be 1. Now, what else do we have? Okay. What else do we have? We have factory lighting. We have factory lighting, and factory lighting is 600. Cost per unit will be 0.6. Okay. Then we have factory rent. Okay. We have factory rent. This will be 1,600. Cost per unit will be 1.6. Then what else do we have? We have factory maintenance. Okay. We have factory maintenance consumables. Maintenance consumable. Okay. So since want of space, I'm just writing this in short. Consumables, that is 100 rupees. So cost per unit will be 0.1. Then we have machine depreciation. Since it's mentioned as machine, we are assuming this is a part of your factory machinery, and that is 500. So cost per unit will be 0.5. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I think we have covered most of the overhead expenses that are a part of our factory overhead. Now what we have to do is we have to total this up. Okay? We have to total this up. Now at this point of time, there are two important things that I want all of you to focus on. Okay? That I want all of you to focus on. So the first thing that I'm going to be calculating is my total factory overhead. Okay, I will be calculating my total factory overhead. After this, I will be calculating my factory cost. Okay, so there are two things that I'll be calculating right now. I'll be calculating my factory overhead, I will be calculating my total factory overhead, and then I'll be calculating my factory cost. Now, why am I doing like this? Now, remember, my total factory overhead is the sum total of my indirect factory material, indirect factory labor, indirect factory expenses. I'll repeat that. My total factory overhead is the sum total of my indirect factory material, indirect factory labor, indirect factory expenses, which means what I am doing over here, the total that I'm getting over here, it is a sum total of these items. It is a sum total of these 6 items. So my factory overhead total here, this would work out to be, so let's just quickly work out the math. This will work out to be 6,300. 6,300. So what is the significance of 6,300? 6,300 is the sum total of my factory overhead. Okay, this is the sum total of my factory overhead. Okay, and cost per unit, this works out to be 6.3. Okay, this works out to be 6.3. Now I will have to calculate my factory cost. Okay, now I will have to calculate my factory cost. So how will I calculate my factory cost? Prime cost plus my factory overhead. Okay, prime cost plus my factory overhead. So this works out to be 34,300. Okay, this works out to be 34,300. Cost per unit 34.3. Okay, so I'll repeat this once again. I have calculated my total factory overhead. So when I have totaled this, when I have given you the total representation of this, what I've done is I've considered only these items. Okay? Because I've considered my indirect factory material, indirect factory labor, indirect factory expenses, and I've figured out my total factory overhead is 6,300. Then I have calculated my factory cost. Now, how did I get my factory cost? My factory overhead plus prime cost has given me my factory cost. Okay? It has given me my factory cost. Okay, so due to want of space, what I'm going to be doing now is I'll be erasing the top portion. Okay? I'll be erasing the top portion here, and then we will continue with the remaining portion of the cost sheet. Okay, we will continue with the remaining portion of the cost sheet. So the cost sheet, what we have worked until now is we have calculated until the factory cost. We have calculated until the factory cost, and factory cost we have got the total to be 34,300. Cost per unit is 34.3. Okay, cost per unit is 34.3. Since this is a major division of cost, let me just highlight this one. Okay, let me just highlight this one. Now, what is the next step? Okay, what is the next step? Now, factory cost is also called as work cost. Okay, factory cost is also known as work cost. Now, what is the next thing? What is the next step? Now we have to consider all our office overheads. Okay, now we have to consider all our office overheads. So indirect material consumed at the office, indirect labor paid at the office, then indirect expenses incurred at the office. So with this respect, let's see what all are the items that we have. We have office salary. Okay, we have office salary. So how much is office salary? Office salary works out to be 2,000. Okay, cost per unit, this will be 2 rupees. Next, we have office overhead. We have office overhead. So office overhead, what is given to us is that this is 8,000. Okay, what this is given to us at 8,000. This works out to be 8 rupees. Next, we have miscellaneous office expenses. Okay, we have miscellaneous office expenses. So miscellaneous office expenses, this is 1,000. This works out to be 1. Okay, so we don't have any more office overheads. So that brings us to the end of this. Now let's calculate this one. So when you add up these three items, the value that we're getting over here, this is called as the office overhead. This is called as the office overhead. Office overhead. So the sum total of the office overhead, 2,000 plus 8,000, this works out to be 11,000. Cost per unit is 11 rupees. Cost per unit is 11 rupees. So office salary plus office overhead plus miscellaneous office expense, the total is office overhead, and this works out to be 11,000. Now, what's the next step? Now, office overhead, we have to add that to factory costs. Okay? So office overhead, we will have to add that to factory cost. So when you add this, the division that you get is called as cost of production. Okay? The division that you get is called as cost of production. Okay? This is called as cost of production. So when you add this up, you get the value to be 45,300. Okay, 45,300, and cost per unit is 45.3. Okay, it works out to be 45.3. So I'll just repeat this quickly once again for you. What did I just do? I have just added up just my office overheads, these three expenses, and this works out to be my office overhead. Now this office overhead, I've added that to factory cost. I've got my cost of production. Okay, I've got my cost of production. Now the next the next step that we have to do is we have to consider our selling and distribution expenses. Okay, we have to consider our selling and distribution overhead. Now, lucky for us, in this particular question, we've been just given one item, okay? And it is straightforward. It is given to us as selling and distribution overhead. Selling and distribution overhead. So selling and distribution overhead, this works out to be 6,000. Cost per unit is 6. Okay, cost per unit is 6. Now, that's the only item given. So let's total this up. Okay, we will stick to our format. So we will have to calculate selling and distribution overhead. Okay, so our selling and distribution overhead, this works out to be also 6,000. Okay. Next, what we have to do is your selling and distribution overhead, you have to add that to your cost of production. Your selling and your distribution overhead, you will have to add this to your cost of production. So when you do so, you will get your total cost. When you do so, you will get your total cost. So your total cost works out to be 51,300, or cost per unit 51.3. So that works out to be 51,300, or in terms of cost per unit, it is 51.3. Now, our cost sheet is not over as yet. Okay? Our cost sheet is not over as yet. Now, what is the significance of 51,300? 51,300 means that is the sum total of all the expenses you have incurred as a part of producing 1,000 units of your bulb. Okay? That is the sum total of all the expenses, all the costs that you have incurred as a part of producing your bulb. Or in terms of cost per unit, this is the amount of money, 51.3 rupees is the expense you're having for manufacturing one bulb. Which means if you have to sell your bulb, you have to sell at an amount higher than 51.3. If you have to sell your bulb, you have to sell your bulb at a price higher than 51.3. What happens if you do not sell at a price higher than 51.3? It will be a loss for you. It will be a loss for you. Luckily for us, in this particular question, the company is expecting a profit of 20%. They're anticipating a profit of 20%. Now, 20% of what? 20% of your cost. They're expecting a profit of 20%. So your profit, you will have to estimate this to be 20%. Now, the question is 20% of what? 20% of your total cost. So 20% of your total cost of 51,300, when you work out the math, this works out to be 10,260. 10,260, or in terms of cost per unit, 10.26. 10.26. So the last division that we have to calculate is sales. The last division that you have to calculate is sales. So your sales works out to be 61,560. 61,560, or in terms of cost per unit, 61.56. So what does this signify? What this signifies is that if you sell your bulb at 61 rupees and 56 paise, you will recover your cost, and also you will make a profit of 20%. You will recover your cost is completely recovered, and you're also making a profit of 10 rupees or 20%, which works out to be 10 rupees and 26 paise. So this is how businesses would go about preparing the cost sheet, and they will decide how to price their product. Okay, so this is how the businesses will go about working their cost sheet, and this is how they will go about pricing their product. So this is the reason why for a business, it is very essential, it is very important to prepare a cost sheet. Okay, this is the reason why it is very important and very essential for a business to prepare their cost sheet.